welcome back to Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I am your host, Will Melton, and we are going to get into it today. But before we start, this is a Channel RVA production. What does that mean? That means that Channel RVA is the home for Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. Now, if you've been hanging out with me for any amount of time this year, you might have seen me work on that project. It's a project that's key to my business success, and it's in its infancy. So you're getting to watch some really cool things happen right before your very eyes as I build this business from scratch. So, in any event, today we're going to work on Channel RVA a little bit, but we're going to launch a new website that really gets into the heart of gaming and game building for business success. And so, I've purchased onscreengames.com. Somebody on my team asked, was that something that I had to pay thousands of dollars for? No, it was not. I got lucky and that was available at a normal price. So that was pretty cool. But in any event, I'm going to take you over to studio.willmelton.com where you can take a look at my website here. This is what I have tracked my journey on. So you can see the 52 apps that I'm going to hit this year. I'm ahead of schedule. I probably, if you count all the games that I have, I'm probably up to 40 at this point, but I'm not counting individual games because it depends. There's a suite of games and there's a couple of things that I'll put in here, but in any event, I won't dwell on that. If you're new to Channel RVA, that's over here at channelrva.com. And we're doing all kinds of stuff here. We're covering the news. We are helping our neighbors. We're showing you what to eat. We're giving you the weather. We're giving you your horoscope. There's a lot of really great content in here to plug you into the city. And I think that this is a model. I think that what we're building is going to set the stage for what media looks like in the future, for what local media looks like. And my goal is to create so much value in this platform that we create a center of gravity. So we connect with creators and invite them into our space. We create original media ourselves. We have space for contributing writers, and we give you the news headlines. We also bring you original content that is more of the lifestyle component. And then we have lots of video and podcasts, and the list goes on. And so, one of the big things that we're working on now are games and getting our games system built out. Whether that is our game show podcast, which is coming up. We've actually got to get a couple more people cast for that. So, if you're looking for something to do on Wednesday night and you're in the Richmond market and you think you are witty, drafting an AI voice might just be the thing for you. You don't have to speak at all in this game. You just get to use AI voices to speak on your behalf. And it's a fun game. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. We're going to record 5 episodes in total. Now, some of the thing I need to do today is I need to work on the voting mechanism for this. Well, I'll record a couple of episodes before we release these. I do have to make sure that a couple of components of voting are built into the game. So one of those is going to be that we show the players in each round how many comments they were able to get into the conversation. And then we also will show them their kind of end of game statistics. That way we can kind of have a little bit of fun to see who's potentially going to come out on top just based on volume. And then we're going to actually build all of the voting mechanisms to make sure that whenever we're watching this asynchronously, we can actually drop our laughing face emojis and vote at the end of each round. So that's going to require some timestamps being baked into our video player, and we'll probably have to actually run this video off of our own stream because I'm not sure that I'll be able to work in off of the YouTube player, but who knows? Maybe I will. I'm able to do it for some other things like trivia right now, so I won't get ahead of myself on that. But let me start the day with that. So I'm going to actually just kind of regurgitate what I just said. I need to verify that the voting mechanism exists for the AI Game Show podcasts. And the way that we're going to do that is I want to build the game show page, the public facing page, the same that we have for our other shows with the branding and the player and all that. But what we need to do is we need to make sure that we actually have on that particular player another element where people can hit um, certain emoji buttons to indicate their rate of humor, laughter at a particular joke or comment. Maybe we can have a scale of 1 to 5 with sort of okay laughs and then some dying laughing faces. Uh, but what we need to make sure that we have is that at any given moment that a viewer is watching and gives a laughing face emoji, that is attributed to the comment that's being read out loud in the transcript, so that we can have proper attribution in the database. We also need to make sure that people can only vote one emoji per comment. So we'll have to have a duration for each of the comments in the database, what time it started, what time it ended, so that we can match all that up. Um, and then I want to do something else with both the public uh, player board, like the one that we record, as well as the players' individual boards, as well as the um, controller board for the host, so that we can actually show the count of comments that each player has submitted over the course of both that round that they're playing, as well as the total game. And that will be something that we'll touch on, since we don't actually have any real live feedback from viewers. We're going to be using that as one element of competition amongst the players in the room. And so we'll have a couple of things that we need to make adjustments there. So let's make a plan. One of the other things that we're going to have to do for this show is we're going to have to set a voting window after we launch an episode, how long it's going to be available to be voted on before we close voting. I want to make that a prominent thing on this page. When there is an active vote, we need to show a countdown on the main page. When we're watching the player, we need to show a little badge on top that shows how much more time is there to vote on the action. So, whether you're joining me for the first time or if you've been around for a little while, I'll share a little bit about what goes on in my brain, because that might help you think about whether or not this is an area for you to thrive, or if it's something that you might struggle with. I'm a very visual thinker. I have a uh, photographic memory, and I didn't know that when I was younger. I didn't really think too much about what that meant. But I have a vivid memory of things I write down, of interfaces that I've seen, and so I can imagine in my memory what things look like and begin to think about how I might modify those things. So I have a vivid memory of the game player for all of our shows. And so I'll show you one of these just to help you understand what I'm thinking about in my head. I'm like, okay, here's the here's the main page for America's Healthiest City. It's got the branding at the top. And as we get down into the page, I'm actually realizing I don't actually have the logo in here. But in any event, the player here, if I go into the player, I can see where the trivia is in here with these yellow dots. And so I built all these features, and my brain compartmentalized as well. So I have this improve that. So I'm kind of able to go through and imagine, okay, so if I were to put the countdown someplace, I'd probably put it up here in the right-hand corner, but at the same time, there's a little thing right there. So where would we put it? I'm not quite sure. Something that I'm noticing here that I'm going to put in as a task is to backfill the cast for America's Healthiest City shows. I normally do a lot of talking with you guys, and I don't take notes all the time, so I forget some of the stuff that I want to work on. So while that plan is rolling out so that we can actually get the AI Game Show podcast online, we'll work on the game platform, the game studio that I want to build. But before I do that, I'll take you over to the landing page for the AI Game Show podcast. So we released a news story on this earlier today. And then we built a landing page where people can learn more about this. I talked about this yesterday. Work to get some graphics and imagery in there so that people can understand what this is. Somebody had asked me what it was, so I was like, well, let me put a page together so that I can actually promote this properly. And so this is something that I need to get out there. I need 2 more guests. I said that earlier, but I'm going to say it again. I need 2 more guests for Wednesday, so that's really just 3 days away. We'll find them. Always do. I've got some back pocket folks that I might pull. And I spoke to some people on Friday night. Quite frankly, I can't remember now who. Photographic memory, but not great at remembering people that I spoke to about important things. In any event, it was a party. So yeah, I'll have people to fill that one up. And we've got the 24th is the next film date that we've got a couple of slots open for. But I've got some folks who are in the wings on confirming the dates. So that's what we're cooking on there. And while that happens, I want to talk a little bit about something else that I want to do.
And it was such a joy to.
One of the things that I want to incorporate into the entirety of Channel RVA is flash polls. I want them to be um, something that includes an image that we load, as well as a simple question, and then it can be up or down vote, like a thumbs up, thumbs down type of thing. I want it to be something that we put on the home page as a element that sits close to the top or higher up on the page anyway. I want there to be something in the newsletter when we first release a flash poll. I want there to be an opportunity within Games Live to conduct to answer a flash poll, and then I want to also do another flash poll, or another place to put it is going to be just within articles, like an advertisement almost. One of the things that prompts this for me are provocative questions that we think could get people's attention. For instance, I think it'd be fun if we built a Ferris wheel um, at there's a new park that we're building in Richmond, and quite frankly, I'm drawing a blank on it. Mayo Park. No, not Mayo Park. Is it Mayo Park? Let's look this up. Mayo Island. That's what it is. Mayo Park. So the first question that we're going to do is, should we build a Ferris wheel on Mayo Island? Other cities like Atlanta and where else? Where else do we have a Ferris wheel? Orlando. So anyway, I wanted to start us off. They need to have a duration that they run for too. Uh, let's go ahead and make a plan for that and add it to the product roadmap since this is new. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Good to see you, buddy. So, constantly tweaking over here at Channel RVA. Right now, I am adding the voting feature to Channel RVA AI Game Show podcast and making sure that that show page is wired up. Let's see. Here's what I'm going to do now. I want to work on this website, On Screen Games. This might seem like a small thing, but I think it's going to be fun for this site. I want to script a series of animations for the dot to the left of on-screen games in the header. There's some opportunities for us to play with that, and then once we scripted that, we might be able to use it on its own in other places on the site, or maybe leverage the dot as a element it carries with us throughout the site experience. That was not what I intended to do today, but as I was sitting here looking at this, I was like, I need something up here. I need this to do something, and I don't want it to just be pulse. We're going to do something fun with that. Now, I have no idea what it's going to do. I just gave it a simple prompt here, but I am going to actually wire up the prompt that I want, which is so I think the game that we have for the pitch conversion is a bit complicated, or like kind of weird. I can't read anything from the game really. I wonder if it would be a better experience if we were to make the site more of like a educational experience where we're encouraging people to learn as they go, make it almost stepwise if we can, and then the pitch run can be a quiz of sorts. It should be fun somehow, not just a simple quiz, but maybe what we can do is, in addition to answering the quiz questions, we get them to answer questions about their business so that we can capture information about them and what they need as we go. And then maybe we can have like a simple game at the end, like a simple fun game to play as a bonus. And what we do is they're playing for a chance at a free consultation. And if they score high enough, we will even build them a pitch, which will consist of a visual interface concept, uh, rules, gameplay rules, conversion strategy, and go to market strategy.
Musik. Non-stop Beats für endlosen Energy Boost. Schalt jetzt zu I Love Workout. An I Love Music Channel Tip. This is
I love chill hop.
Okay. Let's see what's going on over at Channel RVA while that's happening. Okay. For the animation on the on-screen games icon, I want there to be a little bit of interplay between the icon and the on-screen games text. I don't know how easy this is going to be, but perhaps the icon can move to the right and bump into on-screen games and push it to the right a little bit. If we were ambitious, we could even make on screen and games all separate words, and the push causes them to all separate like an accordion, and then almost like a slinky slap back together again, and then resume the original position. If that's too hard, let's just make the icon bump into the words and have the words slide over a little bit, and then kind of slowly move back into place. So I've talked about this a little bit before in the past. If you've been hanging out with me, I focus on small details in addition to the big picture at the same time, because I really want these environments to be inviting for people, and you can build fun into interfaces, whether it's what happens when you hover over something or how something animates whenever the page loads. There's always ways to add fun to an experience, and giving personality to non inanimate objects is one such way to create a lighthearted feel and create a sense of connectivity beyond just consuming information on a website. So that is what I aim to do with that. And this build might take a little while, so let me pop over here to see what we've got here. I'm going to go into the back end of this site and just take a look at the product roadmap. I think we might have removed some games from the interface, but I still see some references in the roadmap and other places to those games. Can you tell me what they are before we do anything?
You're tuned into Channel RVA. the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
All right. This might change the design quite a bit, so we'll see how much I like it versus frustrated by the changes. But nobody's seen this yet except for you guys, so I kind of feel like anything goes at this point. I'm not seeing anything in the handheld interface for the bar tab game. I should be asked almost immediately after joining to play that game. Okay, let's see what's happening on on-screen games. I think our plan is, oh, cool. Man, this is so cool. All right. I don't get excited that often, so. There's a big wall of text here in the exam piece that I feel like is missing the value associated with taking the quiz. It's for whatever reason there's not enough. Just since it's a big text block, it doesn't actually give us the value points enough. So I think we just need to redesign how that request the CTA is propelled. No, I can't talk today. So I'm going to go till about 11 o'clock today because it's a nice day and we can get outside, enjoy the beautiful weather, and not be, oh, that's cool. Look at that. You just completely changed the animation for the icon for on-screen games, and I didn't want you to completely change it. I wanted you to put that as an addition to the script that we had before. So hopefully you still have the code for the previous script and we can just weave it in. For the exam CTA, I don't want to change the overall design of the card. What I want to do is change the text layout so that we can effectively illuminate the value of what they get on the other side, as well as separating the CTA from the value effectively. I think we just need to be more creative with the text, that's all. The cards on the proof and market page are flat. We need to bring in an image element.
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
I can't even get my own quiz right. uh, Cool. All right. So
Sunniest Playlist Update ever. Check unsere neue Super Sunny Playlist von I Love the Sun.
Ready for the summer.
I love the sun. Alle worldwide Sommerhits und Summer
all
Throwbacks.
right. If you're joining me for the first time today, this is Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I am Will Melton. This is a Channel RVA production.
Now mit I
We are
Love the
building
Sun.
Channel RVA as we speak about it. If you're in the Richmond market, go over here and breakfast sandwich. Breakfast looks good. I don't understand why that. Oh man, this site has the hardest time finding images. Anyway, I'm scrolling through this occasionally to see if I can't find ads that I'm supposed to see in here that I don't see. So I'm just going to go over to the admin view and take a look at that really quickly. I need to adjust the advertising packages to be a bit more generous to advertisers. We have plenty of coverage, space for coverage across our ecosystem. And when a sponsor pays more, they should have more inclusion across the network, not just separate packages. So what I want to do is get some people wired up to the impact level. We'll do that for the Valentine and Pure Fitness, but also again make our packages a little bit more generous with what they get, since it's a digital product. And then let's make sure that the lower packages also include visibility in Games Live. And then I think we need to wire up additional creative for Valentine and Pure Fitness, since they'll need it. Okay, so let's see what we've got.
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
The venue, apply, and I believe the Games Live products and pricing are off because we switched to a $10 a day for gameplay only. So we need to track that per venue and charge against it. And we need to update the products and pricing. We need to update the bring your games to live, games live to your spot. There's also someplace in here I saw that it said that you can wire up to Roku or Android TV. And while that could certainly be an option, we're going to be providing a device as well if they don't have Android TV or what have you. I'll let that one plan since it's covering a lot of ground there. Let me come back into this and see. Change the label on the AI Game Show podcast to Game Show. Change the badge on the AI Game Show podcast to Game Show instead of podcast. Okay. All right, so what I'm doing is just grabbing some logos here so that I can get some proper logos in here. Instead of the text examples of clients, I want to go ahead and use these icons, logos. We have to use a white background for this section because of the solid background on the Channel RVA logo. So let's go ahead and update that. And then I want to create another portfolio item for a game that I built for AI Ready RVA. Called Connect and Score. I guess. Okay. All right.
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe
Since we
at
are
channelrva.com.
connecting domains, I didn't realize I was leaving that recording there. Hold on a second. All right, so I'll go ahead and publish this to add a custom domain. This is going to be on screen. Continue. So as I wrap up here today, what I want to talk a little bit about, I'll stop building and I'll just talk a little bit about what it is that I'm demonstrating, or at least what I hope to demonstrate here. I am aiming to help people see what's possible. I'm helping them show, I started building this website at some point during the week because it dawned on me that the future is definitely full of entertainment. And there's a lot changing in the world, but entertainment has always been a part of our lives, and it will always be a part of our lives. And it's something that I'm particularly interested in. Is there shifts in the economy and consumer behavior and work. AI is changing a lot, but what I'm hoping to demonstrate is that I can take a concept and say, okay, we want to build a website that helps people to recognize the value of games in the marketplace, in the business marketplace. And how do we also demonstrate to somebody what a gamified experience might look like? And so we're gamifying the experience of the website itself. And then we're also creating a pathway for people to earn a consultation and a pitch. And so this is, again, just an example of what the future could look like. And this is something that I've spent, probably no more than 3 or 4 hours on. There's some other things I need to do with this. I need to build an admin backend where I can see form submissions and manage content. Well, probably don't need to manage the content so much as just form entries. I do need to make sure that this site is fully optimized for search and AI, so we will run a scan on that as well. Okay, and just taking a strangely long amount of time, but that's okay. Oh, I think I just have to push this button. Cool. I could be spending more time on the branding elements for these things, but for now I am working to just make it work. I was trying to get some screenshots from this game so that I could. I don't know how to get rid of this thing. There we go.
I love chill hop.
And of course, I get into the zone here, so
It's a break.
I start to work and I forget that other people are watching me. So I'm not saying a whole lot. I'm a little bit over time here
Die
today too, but
kostenlose Streaming-App für
let's
Charts,
see how big that
Dance,
image is.
Hip-Hop und
It's not too
Throwbacks.
bad.
Immer neue Playlisten, immer live gestreamt. Mit I Love Radio und vielen weiteren Non-Stop-Music-Channels.
Okay, so on the scan to meet screen, let's swap out the camera emoji with an icon. I don't like emojis. All right, so I'm going to start to attach some of these screenshots. So we did the AI Ready RVA game for Connect and Score, and I'm going to give you some graphics that you can use for that.
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
Make this photo just a tad bit better. I've got two screenshots from the gameplay. I've got one mock-up of a phone. I've got an image from inside the room of people playing the game, which should be the hero for this. And I'm actually going to give you 3 screenshots. And the thing about this game was this is actually a joint networking event between AI Ready RVA and Hype, which is helping young professionals engage in the Richmond market. And I actually built this game live in front of the audience. In 14 minutes. And it was an icebreaker game. We probably need to optimize these images. The screenshots anyway, because they're pretty big. So much that goes into this work, but fortunately, we don't have to do all the work ourselves. So, you can build a whole content management system where you're actually manually manipulating all the information that goes into it. But I find that to be a cumbersome process, and I tend to like to speak to the agent and get the agent to go ahead and manipulate the database for me. We need to update the CTA on the portfolio page to match the CTA on the home page. And I want to do something to make this look a little bit better. The section with all the logos, it's just kind of abrupt with that white color. And then we go right back into another tan section below. We're going to do something there. Each of the portfolio items should open up into its own case study. each portfolio item should open up in its own portfolio case study. All right, so I'm going to keep going here. I've just got this flash pulse thing that I wanted to get integrated in. I'm going to take a look at the notes that I wrote for myself earlier today to see what I had planned. So flash pulse, we'll be able to check that off here in a minute. I've fixed the conversion game, but I did realize when I was playing that there's some problems with it. Close out of this, close out of no, we already have that open. The match game does not all fit with inside of the screen, and it's a little bit confusing because we don't have a graphic on the cards when they flip over. I think if we can have matching graphics, that would help people a lot because it's a little confusing to play the game right now.
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
The article we published today that invites people to apply to become a games partner is directing people to the wrong place. It needs to go to the promotion page. On that page, the little icons to the left of the features are wrong. And I think that this landing page does not do enough to explain all the things that happen inside of this interface to keep people in restaurants and to attract people to the restaurants. Doesn't say anything about the directory. Doesn't say anything about the bar tab game. Doesn't say anything about the in-app promotions, the loyalty components. There's a lot of stuff that's missing from this page, and we really need to beef it up. The design's great. Just need to make some improvements. This image is not designed to be part of the gallery, but more of like a hero image someplace. Maybe we can make business objective and outcome left aligned, and we can make this phone right aligned on the same row. And then the other thing is the how it played. We need to change the order so that meet match win is number one. Question 1 of 7 and 6 of 7 are the next two. The scan QR code is the next one, the one that shows the camera icon. And then the last one is the actual QR code. And I want those to be in a carousel from left to right, spilling off the right-hand side of the page that I can easily slide with my mouse finger. Don't need arrows, just slide. The CTA on the portfolio pages is not the proper CTA. We need to make sure that all CTAs use the same CTA on the bottom of the home page. I said something about this earlier. You ignored me. Okay. Let's see.
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
Okay, so I think I'm at a stopping point here. I've queued up all of the fixes that I want to make to these different games. And let's see, let me just take a quick look at my notes. I want to take a look at the singles game that I built into Channel RVA Games Live. I'll do that a little bit later today. I need to check on the voting mechanism for the AI Game Show podcast. So those will be a couple of tests that I need to do offline here. And I think the other thing that I wanted to do was I noticed that the cast on Channel RVA America's Healthiest City podcast is not pulling in the actual guest names or myself as the host, Will Melton. It's inserting Billy Briefman, even though we don't allow that for contributor content. So we need to make sure that whenever we scrape contributor content, we're never putting Billy Briefman in as a cast member and always capturing the cast info from the description. And I want to backfill all of the last. We'll just do the last episode for now to see how that works. I told you that this image was a transparent background and it needs to show up as a transparent background here. I don't need a label on the bottom of it. This is really a hero type image. So relative to the two boxes on the left, it needs to be centered. Right now it's aligned to the top. When we put the caption on these at the bottom attached inside the container as opposed to text that sits below, we run into a problem where we can't see the entire screenshot. And that's happening at the top and the bottom. And so I just want to make sure that we're not cutting things off to get that added in there. All right, I'm going to call it. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with me. This was fun. It's always fun, but now that we're working, a little bit more on games, it's even more fun. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do today. If you haven't yet done this, if you're interested in having us help you create a game for yourself, we will help you with that. So just go over to onscreengames.com and play our game, and we'll mock something up for you. So I got to get this fixed. This AI generated image is not what I want. We need to do something and get rid of this image throughout the home page because it is it's got AI gibberish text on it. Even if we just crop that out, it could be a fix for now. So always more tweaks to be made. So again, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next Saturday at 1 p.m. I do believe I'm in town for that. So come hang out with me again. We'll see what we're working on. No telling what we'll build, but we're going to have fun no matter what. And we're going to learn something. So thanks for